well, and they've kind of managed things decently. Are going to see the Poppy coming for Carrier though, and I think T1 pretty happy with what they got, right? They have the Rumble for Doran, a phenomenal pick.
I'm feeling that the tempo vibes aren't necessary. Okay, never mind. Carrier is going to be able to find the heroic charge into Lehens, and all of a sudden they have a massive.
Yeah,
I couldn't.
Yeah.
Which is not exactly a brave thing to say, based on how they've been playing all the time. However, Carrier is going to have to use the flash to get out of the way of Lehens, who is now looking to turn his attention towards Gumayusi. Gideon in position. Be able to build enough items to get him out of this one, as Ona will finally finish this one off there as the smite to secure the... He's got bullets, Ox.
He's got 4 of them.
Oh, there's one. There's a grenade, 2, 3. And there's the 4th one. Bit of damage onto Lehens. As Carrier able to get a whole lot more off as well. The reload does come through. 2 more left in the chamber, and the last one will do it. First blood over to Gumayusi. And Giu, he's on the hunt. Dive into Twitch chat. What was he saying? Where is it? Where is it? There aren't any Walmarts on the space, Orcs, as it turns out. Doran's also just going to burn Giu down. Yeah, the tick rate actually does look like it was improved somewhat. The flash forward as the barrier comes down, and no flash for Doran means no way out. A little bit overexcited there, but great position. Doran teleports in and kills Giu. Oh, tries to kill Giu.
It feels overheated there. Oh!
Whoa, okay. Carrier in a little bit of trouble as the ricochets are flying through, but does run out of them. As Gumayusi, which is not necessarily as coveted, but still some good options available as the ram is going to come down. Doran just walks in between it. That's the way you do it, by the way.
Yeah.
Sending a message. Honor. Okay, that's Honor right there. He's like, Gumayusi, he ate the full combo. I will allow him to have his. There's Shockwave going to pull back Doran after the flash. Very nicely done. Still there's a possibility that there could be a contest, but it looks like it's just not going to come in.
Oh, they're looking for it now.
Okay. Captive audience going to slow up Gideon as he's making his approach. Teleport in from King, and let's see whether the Ornhorn does come down. Bellows Breath to eat the CC out of Faker. But the taunt will still come on through, and Nongshim, I just think that they're realizing they're too late.
Right, you committed the TP, you moved in. Raptors, maybe.
Well, there is a little bit of a headbutt pulverize onto Faker. Nice double taunt to come on through as he's buying a lot of time. And the problem is, that means the rest of T1 are making their way over. The Unbreakable Will comes down. Nice double pulverize there from Lehens, but the curtains have been called. Flash out from Lehens means that he's just definitely dead. I don't know why we're pressing that button right there, but sometimes
there is information for T1, and we're kind of just waiting for the Galio. Faking out here, they're moving in.
Yeah, Ram comes down, there's the equalizer, but it is going to tag Doran this time. The knock up onto Faker, but he still gets the ult off, and down goes Doran to start this fight off. Now Calix trying to get himself out, but he will not be able to. Ona with that Crescent Guard is able to lock him down. That is actually going to be feats of strength as well, but Ona still going to fall. Pulverized, flashed out of the way of by Gumayusi, but I don't think they're taking a dragon unless Carrier has something to say about it, as Faker punches with justice and takes down Giu. Gideon over the top. It should be the kill onto Carrier, and it will be, as Gideon does get the Q off. There's not a lot of damage left remaining there, here, though, for Nongshim, as Gideon does manage to sidestep the curtain, as Faker will just punch his way over to this side of the map and should be able to keep himself.
A scenario where T1 picked up that third dragon, and once you have that looming threat of soul, the game becomes so hard to play, especially as Arakan is on the other side of the map. Would just become very hard to protect
petals. Oh, Faker going to steal one of Kingan's petals. You'd have to feel like that should have been his.
Yeah. There's a lot of petals in there.
A cute little border. And he is actually going to be able to just close this.
Yeah, very fortified without the minions there. They should just be able to pick it up. It was lowered earlier by the Herald, and it will go down. So, first start of the game for Team. And no blue trinket available at this moment, but Lehens is moving in.
Yep, walking up does manage to get vision, as they don't actually sweep it out just yet. Still, they're turning on to Carrier. Equalizer comes through, gets a fair bit of work done as Carrier finds the heroic charge. And now the taunt is going to connect. Faker was just waiting for Giu to go over the wall. It's beautifully played. And even though it's a quadra pulverize, it does not matter at all, because Kingan and Calix are a million miles away.
Great play there from Carrier, finding the Sivir again with the flash play, and now Calix is going to do his best to try and force this off. The General comes in. King can just block this, though.
Yeah, heroic entrance is going to get Faker in immediately, as the curtain going to be held, but I think it is going to go away. The triple taunt going to come down for Faker as he holds Gideon in position. Steph's presence continues to do so as he'll burn down. It's a double for Doran, maybe even a triple here, as he's just going to obliterate on. Down he goes. Faker grabs that kill, and that's going to be Otacon as well. T1, phenomenal team fight, and put themselves in such a good spot. And Nongshim do want to deny this if they can, but it is just going to be a massive difficulty as Hex Splash in from Keria, looking for a possible opportunity, an avenue forward. As Lehens comes over, that is goodbye to the Orianna, but Heba pulverized to connect onto Keria, and he just goes down. That's a kill over to the Sever as Kingin buys so much space, just wandering off to the side. He is going to die, but a 1-for-1 and a dragon going over to Nongshim probably feels pretty good. Still, T1 have now taken up occupation of Nongshim's side of the map, and it may not be a place that Nongshim can get out of. Heroic entrance, Jiu going to have that spell shield as he flashes. Wind becomes lightning, still connects, but there's the shockwave. The pulverize on top, and Ona will be going down. Jiu's still alive this time, but Doran has found him, and he's got a dangerous flamethrower. Down goes the Sever. There's the ace for T1, and a moment there for Nongshim, and then it was snuffed out. And Ona hits 3,000 assists.
Strong.
Huge cheer from the crowd here, as look at that, still standing, by the way.
Oh man, look at the T-pose. That's Aura right there. He is out of vision, and he's going to threaten with that ult.
Yep, and now just flashes on in as well, can deliver a gargoyle. So right in on top, and down goes the jungler. That is just going to be freedom there onto the Baron, as Gumayusi was tanking up said Baron because he was the last one left in the Baron pit, but he'll be absolutely fine. No one's there to contest, and T1, this is their bread and butter. Just take control of the game. They'll take down the Baron here. Has Hex Flash, and that's also just as dangerous.
Yep.
Finally get the outer turret bot lane, though.
Yeah, been a while. The Hen's fishing on the side.
Oh, T1 not taking the bait, as Lehens will be able to stop Faker from recalling for the moment.
Faker is very strong. I would not, I would not go in on that. Oh, Calyx.
All right, well, there is a little bit of a drive-by there as Calyx was actually seen from the sky.
Where's he going?
He is just going to stand here and go back to base. That is his attempt. And it will be successful. There we go.
Yeah, I was thinking of the setup from Keria to go for the...
well, Shockwave is going to connect, but Jiu is once again lying on the floor.
Yeah, not ideal for Nongshim.
Yeah, I'm going to say subpar on that one, as Equalizer goes down. Not the most value here for this one, but the Pulverize coming on through there onto Keria, and Lehens not going to find too much. Nice little searing charge, but the double taunt, and Gideon, he's melting, and there's the Harpoon to finish him off. Lehens gets tagged by the Flame Spitter. The curtains have been called, and I think it is indeed curtains here for Nongshim in this first game. T1 just a little bit too good here today, and have been, honestly, for weeks now.
Feels like even if you have an okay early game, even if some things are going right for you, once you get to the neutral game, once you get to those neutral objectives, the setup in the mid game, you have to do everything right and more to stand a chance. Are they going to look for him?
Yeah, Faker just trying to get his flash on cooldown, and he will
also very good into the Jarvan.
Faker's having a bit of a giggle, but he's obviously going to play Ahri. This is like, and if T1 is still likely to win
to E-flash, you have to flash kind of early, and he threw it and was like, you could tell he wasn't like, because he flashed late, he wasn't, oh no. Oh man.
No. Well, cosmically bound, and there is the flash forward from Guma, and he misses it. Okay, 2 can play at that game, I guess, but he takes a magical journey. Through goes Lehens as well, and now he's away from the turret. Bouncing bomb is going to be avoided. Jiu not going to be winning any snowball fights, I don't think.
Okay,
as that was just a cavalcade of errors.
Things are getting goofy right now.
Well, yeah, so Kerry's going to get lit on fire. There's the satchel to bring him back. The flash forward, but it doesn't do anything. Finally, the kill goes down, but it's a huge trade up for Nongshim.
Oh, I get it. The failed E-flash was mind control. Look at the next one.
He's like, he's quite close to them, but it's not quite working out here as the magical journey does bring Keria and Faker in. The charm's going to go wide, and that Zenith Blade landed. As now no aftershock and no way to get out of this one, as he does manage to avoid some of the skill shots, but not that last one, as Gumayushi's going to even out the kill score. Still, Jiu looking for a few angles here, finds a satchel and says, get out of my lane, Gumayusi. Yeah, and Gideon's coming over. Guma doesn't have flash. The wall is going to come down, and Keria, can he defend? No, he can't. As the sidestep doesn't quite work out, Faker is out of the blue stuff, so he's going to have to get out of the lane, and he is going to do so.
A little bit concerned about that. A lot of concern. I think the general theme is I'm feeling concerned about a lot of people. I'm feeling concerned about Kingen right now.
Yep, he is just, in a bit of trouble. Does survive,
guys,
momentarily.
Have you seen his farm?
No, I haven't. Have you? Go home. Just go home. Just go home. Just go home.
He's so dead.
He is very dead. Well, he's not
dead.
Never mind, he's totally fine. As now in goes Gideon. Mega Inferno Bomb's down as well. Massive damage on the Doran. And the flash forward. Gideon just needs one more auto. He'll find it as the Zenith Blade in celebration there from Lehens. Oh, beautiful. You love to see it. That is going to be 2 grubs over to Nongshim as well. Already managing to find the feats of warfare. Any tempo vibes. It's just a mess, and maybe that's good for Nongshim.
Maybe. Dragon just get picked up here by T1, but obviously
trade for grubs. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check Twitch chat just momentarily, because if you guys can see it, let me know.
That would be, if you win already married, that would be the sort of thing that you would say.
There we got a bit of a zoom in here. There's also Kingen likely going down as the Zenith Blade will commit. Mega Inferno Bomb gets the flash. And Gumayushi is out of there, but looking a little worse for wear afterwards.
That's the thing I could imagine a girlfriend saying, like, oh, do you not think it looks like a ring?
Anyway, I'm glad we had that conversation while a bunch of action was happening around the map, as here's a grand Starfall, and Gumayushi not going to get hit by a few of the buttons, but the satchel was already put up, and Giu's going to knock it down. Another magical journey in here from Carrier as Seismic Shove held onto here by Calyx. Man, these sidesteps are looking clean as he does eventually have to flash to get out of the way of the charm. The rest not going to be picked into Lilia ever again.
Maybe if you ask Wolf, just not picked again. He's really not a fan of it. I'm sure he'll talk about it on the space.
Well, Calyx is going to just throw Owner out of his own Cataclysm. But he just gets back in there, and down goes the Talia. Nice collapse from T1.
In that situation. Not really even tries to kill Calyx, and we're seeing that, you know? Trade play here. Turret's gonna go down though. Power of Ziggs
has gone down as of this game.
Yeah. It did go up with game 1, but obviously gone down a lot with the rare situation where they don't get it.
Exactly. Calyx now moving back towards his bottom side of the map to continue clearing out minion waves. Solo lane's going well here for T1. Still, never mind. Maybe Doran is in a little bit of trouble as Kingen looking for an angle here as between worlds he goes. As Ju makes his way towards his top side, Gideon was looking to try and punish Doran, but Carrier will be able to back him up. Gets himself out of there with the magical journey. And Doran did want to stick around. Looked a little bit dangerous, but it's another turret mopped up here by Ju, who's playing the Ziggs the way you're supposed to.
That's how you do it. Move him around, get the turrets. Also, notice he didn't satchel the turret there. He saved it.
Oh, look at that. Solar Flare. Perfect sweet spot. Perfect Zenith Blade as well. As Lehens looking to dive on top of Gumayushi. Last couple of rocks from Calyx are going to get that one done as Gideon still going to die.
Yeah, it's also like against the Ziggs, you can set up the ult or put a minefield on top of the stasis, so that can backfire later on.
Lehens and Faker are just fighting. Lehens doesn't have a lot of follow-up, but maybe someone will turn up as there's a Grand Starfall. Drake is just going to be locked down as Faker was looking to set up. They will be able to throw down this Rift Herald towards the bottom side, but it's going to have to take a little bit longer here as Shelly will need to do a full... was there an alcove angle there?
I think it's too tight. I think it's tricky.
Flash out here from Ju. Faker does take a fair bit of damage here as this Ziggs is still pretty dangerous. Still, they will be able to get this turret. It's going to be another Chemtech ult, which is kind of nuts because we've had so many of them over the last couple of days. That's a public execution here onto Faker. Immediately down to 50% as Kingen has just out of nowhere, even though he's 50 CS down, he's got a lot of value. Seismic Shove just going to be the end of Faker. And now Nongshim finds yet another one. The surprise antics here of Nongshim are catching out T1 as now Doran trying to hop his way out. But another shove. And that Zenith Blade was always going to hit as Nongshim, they might lose their Ziggs. As you can see, Carrier in position once more. Owner is rotating over.
Yeah, Lehens wants to go back and get wards, but he's on a ward. This could be bad.
Yeah. So... He's parked. There's the charm. He was just standing waiting for it. Chains of Corruption does come down, and now Lens is able to go back. Still, Seismic Shove is just going to be avoided there by Faker. Not enough rocks in the way as Gideon puts up the shield. Teleport in now from the Aurora. The Ambassador actually waiting here as Kingin. Not as quick on the trigger finger, but that is just going to be delivered to death. Jiu trying to get himself out of the way, and everyone flashes forward. Still, he gets the bomb down, and Ona will be taken out as Kingin doesn't quite hit the public execution, but now the wall comes in, and Calix has just blocked off the carries of T1. Gideon dives on forward. He'll very soon have another stun, but he doesn't need it. That's a spiky old shield, and he's able to take down the area. Nongshim set themselves up for an easy Otacon.
Just when it starts to look like it could be a little scary, Jiwoo goes down. Nongshim's so good at turning the play around, cleaning up the targets, and Gideon and Calix massive in this game. Kerry is fishing. He has smite. No, there's no way. There's no way.
Oh, there is absolutely no. Oh my! It went down to 200 health. That was way too close. That was illegal. How close that was. Kerry is still going to die, and they will be able to get the Drake. A massive move here for Nongshim.
You know what's the thing?
Which I think is also something worth celebrating.
But I think it shows some of the power of the Pantheon. The fact that he's so good at securing with the execute on the Q combined with the smite.
213, and then immediately goes down. He was barely in range, actually.
It's kind of similar to when we've had like Rel.
Oh, nice sidestep there from Faker. That was slick. I still don't know whether he's going to quite get himself out of there. As the Q damage kind of absurd. There is the Solar Flare just collecting the slow. Still, that is another satchel to blow up this turret. Nongshim just formidable right now.
I mean, this is... Oh, Calix?
Okay, Calix is going to be stuck throwing some rocks around here as a Seismic Shove. Not quite going to work as now Ona going in, gets on top of Jude. Let's see whether he can actually satchel his way out of it, and the answer is absolutely not. Still Kingin getting amongst it, and in melee range with this Ambassador, you're never having a good time. That's a double kill here for the top laner of Nongshim, and he's not done yet. Another shove! As, man, maybe it wasn't the year of Closer. Maybe it's been the year of Calix this whole time. As he is having
Faker not even interested. Look mid. Calix approaching. You just have stasis, by the way.
Another Seismic Shove, and unfortunately, Doran's not going to be able to escape that way. He does go in between the worlds, but he's just going to leave Faker to die. And, well, he's not. He does come over and offer a couple of buttons, but that may have actually just confirmed his own death as the flash does come out. Mega Cone. But, yeah, we're still going to try and teleport away, but another rock is going to connect. And in the meantime, Nongshim are just taking the Baron. In comes Tube to make sure that that secure is more than comfortable. That is massive for the confidence of this team.
Yeah. Oh, seeing more plays come out. They're looking for Calix again. He has Zhonya's.
Yeah, so he is going to be never mind. T1 are just going to get out of here as Kingin not going to get temperedly fated this time around, but he does publicly execute Ona, or at least he attempts to, as he will be able to escape. Cataclysm now on cooldown, though, and T1 are kind of scrambling at this stage of the game. Faker looking for an angle, but straight into the Solar Flare as Lahens! Oh man, that was beautiful! Gumayushi will be able to finish off Calix, but Faker is also going to die, and Lahens, rightfully so, takes that kill. Meanwhile, Geo is just destroying turrets in this mid lane, and Nongshim collecting more and more gold. Rebel Ground Power Play sitting at 2.5k, and I don't think it's going down anytime soon.
The thing with this game is it's not like Nongshim have battled hard and really struggled in this game. They are just styling on one at the moment. These are the sort of games that we see when it's the other team against one of the weaker teams in the group is what it looks like. And right now, Nongshim really just running T1 around the map. See target, kill target, carrier. Not where you want to be.
Yeah, the magical journey is not the one he really wanted there as he gets smoked and destroyed. Down he will go. But of course, he's a bard that needs to get vision out. And,
guys,
that's hard.
13 deaths between Guma Carrier on their Varus bard. They have been bullied this game. They've been beaten up this game.
Bullied by a Ziggs as well, Ox. And it's not even your birthday. It's kind of insane. As Grand Starfall does come on down, my god, the damage capabilities here of this team is just ludicrous as Calix is going to make his way in. Gumayushi trying to get the damage down, but it doesn't quite work as Jiu, the fancy feat, but he's still dead. As Doran does manage to at least find the Ziggs, but now they're on the wrong side of the map. Tempered Fate is going to be able to lock up one of these Nexus turrets as the back is trying to come through here as Lahens is on the hunt. Without the Ziggs taking these structures is hard, but the Bard just kind of disappeared, and now there are no more of these turrets left available. King in plenty of damage himself as Doran's back was interrupted by his former support, and Lahen's gonna hold the Aurora in place while Nongshim.
Trundle's got a ton of utility.
Melio
comes through. I mean, it's not the Lulu, but it's got decent peel. But yeah, I mean, I think so much of this common life, you know, and when cats, it's like, you know, what breed is your cat? And you're like, oh, it's
cat. Realizing that even he is not going to be safe, does have the defense of his Maiden here as the goalie wall does come down. Lahen's is still actually able to help Kingen out here as he does flash, but the stun is still going to come through. Still, this is a difficult dive here for T1. As Gumayusi gets tagged.
But you were trying to make a positive point about Nongshim as well, and already that is like untreaded territory. As Gumayusi trying to catch up to Kingen here, and Kingen is very dead. That is going to be a kill going over to Ona. Faker is also dead in the mid lane though, so that first blood will be answered immediately here by Nongshim.
We just established that.
I know, keep running into it. Yeah. Could be a weird trade though. As Guliwal going to trap Gumayusi momentarily, as KIA once again going for the wraparound. Kingen's used to this one by now, but unfortunately doesn't have much of an answer. There is still an army of ghouls that are in position, and they're not going to quite finish this one off, as now Doran trying to keep himself alive, but he'll actually find the kill onto the Trundle. Even if he dies for this, it's still worth it, but he's surviving for so long. And there he is. Kingen is dead, and Doran is not.
Things not going so well now for Nongshim. T1
cheeky little stun as we're going to see this from Doran's perspective.
I mean, it's just the counter-strike value so big. You know, they just can't do any damage to him when it's up. Goes for the burst onto Gideon there. And then just the extra resistances from the ult, able to kite it out. Faker comes out of cover. I'm getting Annie flash pretty big, if I'm going to be honest. And Kerry has Spellbook, so I don't think he feels too bad about burning summoners. But,
the bear is going to come on through here as Faker now has to fight Tibbers and Annie, and unfortunately he's going to lose that 2v1.
That didn't look too difficult.
No. So didn't need no door required, but Gideon in position. This is going to be a tough one. This is a massive wave. And so Gideon moving forward, tanking this one up as best he can. Gumayusi wanting to hunt him down though, and Chiu is going to be able to pick up the kill. Gets excited, gets out of the way. KIA still trying to keep them interested here as the Realm Warp to come on forward, and now Jiu. Oh, the Flame Kick doesn't connect, and so Jiu is just going to die. Faker delivered that kill on a silver platter. Nongshim without their AD carry for the next little while, but still, it is only 200 gold, and they have a Jinx comp, so they're kind of happy.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing was KIA landing.
Crazy that it's on its last legs like this.
I think if the stun hadn't connected, at least would have bought more time. They would have had to commit more.
All right, everyone comes in. Gideon's in position, though, to play defense as the death mark comes down. Jiu is just dead, and you iterated this earlier on. It's going to be really difficult for Jiu to play the game if Owner is fed, and he's fed.
Yeah, he is very fed, and it's already starting to become a problem. The cleanse wasn't available for the Hens, so once that root connects, Jiu just goes down, and you know, your top lane matchup to solo carry team fights, I'm starting to feel a bit concerned for Nongshim and their composition.
Yep, having a bit of a worrying time as Doran is just going to kill the Maiden brutally. And that wasn't very nice to watch. As now Calyx is making his way up to avenge. He can actually throw down another one. The bear is available. The bear and the Maiden, my goodness, there's just a lot of...
But they really need to make sure they can protect Jiru. And he can just dish out the damage.
We'll see whether he can. Of course, you do have a fair bit of range, but Carrier is just looking to walk towards Lahen's. Going to find the angle here as Lahen's is going to get stunned up, but still gets close enough to the turret to keep himself alive. Gio also now at full health, so he's all right. As Lahen's will be going...
A little bit of concern, but the thing with Zed is even if you are fed, if you get, you know, if Lahen's lands a Q while he goes in for the ult, that can be a big turning point in a fight, you know?
Super Mega Death Rocket does absolutely nothing. That could be problematic here, but the Winter's Bite will be avoided here by Jiu. He's starting to do some damage, but look at this. Yeah, Deathmark, you're dead. And Owner is going to do it again. This is what we were talking about. And the flash forward, he wants another one, and there's the double. Had the shadow prepped and everything. Oh God, every time one of these kills comes in, it just makes the game more and more impossible. As Calyx is looking to try and catch Faker on the rotation, but who's catching who at this point in time? As he's got a dash cannon, that's kind of cute.
Oh!
And Faker just blasts him back. There is Gideon turning up though. Calyx is able to walk this one out. The counter-strike to be used onto Tibbers as Kingen comes on over. There's the Glacial Fissure, and now the culling is just going to mow down the Maiden. In goes Doran. He's unable to finish off these kills as the kick does come back through, but they can't finish anyone off. Nongshim are at least keeping themselves alive now, but the door goes up and T1 go out.
Maybe if that... I'm just telling you now, G, you're not going to have a good time. Oh. You ain't already having a good time. You're going to have a worse time.
Well, Calyx just walked towards Doran. Super Mega Death Rocket connects onto Owner and does nothing at all. He's got 2 items. Yeah, this is the problem that I'm also getting to. Well, they're going to try. They're going to give it their best. As the bear goes down, Doran does eat a fair bit of that CC, but he is going to die in the end.
Okay.
There he goes. Dash cannon to death here by the Annie. And now we've got the stand beside Braum. Giu trying to keep himself alive as Owner gets there on top of the Jinx, but the Emilio trying to keep Giu alive. The culling just barely not able to connect in the barrier, keeping him alive, but somehow the Winter's Bite lands, and Lehens gets the kick back that little bit too late. And he will survive. But once again, I mean...
But the actual goal is killing Giu, and they're doing a very good job at that. Oh, Gideon's looking.
Well, he's just going to walk into 3 people for now. Kingen trying to make his way over, but Gideon is just dead. And the question of what did he mean by this is on everyone's minds. As
I'd say that's maybe like, what, 7% of Carrier's health?
There we go. That's not nothing. As Carrier once again thrown down an ulti, is Gideon going to have to flash. Deathmark comes in, but Owner is trying to get out of there, and the turret shot is going to follow him. So that is a dead Zed. Nice little rhyme. Felt a bit nice to say as well.
Zed's dead, man. Zed's dead.
Yeah. But so that means that Giu is going to be alive for the next 28 seconds.
And that's the sort of punish we can see.
Gideon is not going to be alive for the next 28 seconds. He is in fact dead.
Brother, please.
For 34 seconds. And maybe Giu is not, maybe that was a cast curse. Maybe that's my bad. As Lehens trying his best to keep Giu alive. We're just not going to watch it though. We don't want to want to see it.
It's very funny though. It's very funny.
Yeah. They just don't like, well, I mean, I guess.
Out like, hello.
Yep.
Oh, control ward's down. No more surprises.
Very cute little doggo there as well. I wonder whether that one's a genuine.
Oh, let's set the trap.
Yeah, Faker is going to find the Rune Prison. The culling is going to get eaten here by Gideon. Another great ult, but the Melio value is gigantic, and this time it's the Zed that goes down. And we do have an excited Giu as well. The Zap connects, and now Faker. Can he actually get the AoE? My God, the damage is disgusting, but Guma bites off more than he can chew. And in the meantime, the Yorick is in the bottom lane with the Maiden.
In the back right now, leaning towards Baron and Atakan both up on the top side.
All right, Carrier going to stand beside. I don't know whether he's exactly the engaged target. There is Doran. He'll find the counter strike, and all of them are dead. Yeah, T1 gave away their tempo vibes for a few seconds, but said no, give them back. And there they go. Nongshim just fall apart. I'm glad we had that moment, though.
When in doubt, Doran. It's that simple. When in doubt, Doran. That stun was just magnificent. You know, the game got a little bit goofy, got a little bit messy. He just comes in and cleans up like that. And now Kingen and Lehens, I don't think he got it.
They certainly don't. Doran dives in yet again, and they're going to be able to take everything down. These Nexus turrets not going to be long for the world either. As Nongshim was a valiant effort, it was almost a comeback angle, and then it just wasn't. And at 26 minutes, T1 will take down the players. Diablo down here in Rise certainly has his license, but Teddy as well. He was, especially last year, was looking absolutely fantastic on this champion barrel right here. Corki and Leona is actually a fair bit of power. There's a flash forward from Beryl. No flash and a Zenith Blade to come on through, but he lands back-to-back shields. I hope that that calibrated for Andil there, and so the next time the Shattering Strike combo comes in, it's going to work out a bit better, as Sponge is going to be able to land. Here's Beryl going to try and see what he can do here as he turns it onto Teddy. Beryl is likely still going to be dead as Sponge misses! And the Shield of Daybreak actually stuns him up. Still, he's going to die, but honestly, I'm still even more impressed. Still haven't cleared out the control ward that's in the pit, but Lucid not going to be in position to try and stop that one as a bear comes down. Showmaker going to have to deal with this, and Andil, who does find that Shattering Strike. Still, Showmaker has not pressed Flash, will finally do so, as Yahoo is going to pick up a turret shot as well. Sponge taking his sweet time on this Dragon, but will not be contested. So we'll be able to take that one down as well. So the tempo
is just very hard to do damage to him, especially as you have these. So often we have like the AP.
Oh, there's a flash in. A Showmaker just Holding on to the ult for now.
Okay.
And doesn't have flash. Is able to walk it.
Oh, pack it up. The tempo vibes have immediately switched back to DK. Off the back of that one as Beryl walking towards Andal here. Looking to get a stun off. Going to be able to do so, but Andal will vacate the area. Showmaker moving his way over as Lucid is going to take control.
And I think it's just not a fight you're super interested in, considering the Wukong Ori combo's up and available. You're kind of getting
Thinking
zoned
more
off.
about like King Kong, which was like the least action King Kong ever. But anyway, we've got a flash forward here as aiming, gonna have to try and get out of there. Gets into the brush as the rest of his team's coming along. The Grand Starfall not really doing too much here as DK just wanting to get their Corki out. But Beryl might actually be paying for his sins. A lot of damage is coming through as Beryl finally going to be throwing out the flash, but the Cyclone comes in to double knockups and Beryl goes forward to die once again. Finally, they do get the trade, but Rich is teleported in. Shiu going to come down as well. But in the end, it's actually a big trade up for DRX.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like that single target burst came in to finish off both Beryl and Lucid. It looks like DRX wanting to contest this one.
All right, well, Showmaker, possible turn angle here for DRX. Remember, Sponge and Yehu are pretty scary still. The Rift Herald is going to go down. Beryl in amongst it once again as Sponge taking a lot of damage. Teddy, oh man, you could feel the killer instinct.
Yeah, that was
armed and ready.
That was a Leona with a Celestial opposition. And now I've noticed, you know how we have like 80 carries with multiple swords? This Leona does just have 2 shields.
Yeah, it is a bit of a...
You know, we have dual wielding, this is dual shielding.
Dual shielding sounds pretty... Almost a scuffle there, but there wasn't actually in the end. As Grand Starfall to come down, flash out from Showmaker, the flash in from Sponge, and from Yehu as well. And Showmaker will be stabbed to death in the end, but bit of an overextension perhaps, as teleports are now coming on through. Shiu trying to set up for this one, but now he's 2 versus 1. The rest of DK continuing the fight, but the equalizer comes down. The Ram comes on in, and Shiu trying to stop Yehu from doing much more, but the Acathian rains down, and Teddy's able to take down the Monkey, now aiming, having to deal with this. He does do a fair bit of damage, and Beryl is going to be once again falling. Aiming, surviving is a big deal, but this is also sole point for DRX.
Good cleanup there from DRX. You know, the target selection's great. They take out Showmaker on the bot side, and then Teddy finding an angle to punish, to take out Lucid. And it just felt like Dplus kind of scattered, kind of separated. So it's like, you win or lose the fight so quickly. You're not getting that much ocean value in fights, and there's not that much poke, really. Well, there's a bit from Corki, and that's kind of all you sustain.
Going to be the next thing on the menu is DK thinking that maybe they'll just take an outer turret in mid, and that is going to happen here.
Yeah, good pickup. Teddy has to respect him and back away.
Trying to hold on to this bottom outer turret. But Beryl just daring him to press bear, wasn't he? That's exactly what happened. As in goes Lucid, finds a knock-up onto Teddy, another Cyclone, and down he goes! Just a little bit of brittle, and down goes Teddy. Shockwave means the end of Yehu as well, as DK spring to life here at 23 minutes.
And DRX try and move to defend the bot lane and just end up completely caught out. Dplus used that pressure they had mid, used the control they had in the enemy jungle to find 2 great picks, and now this Atakan's just a free pickup. And I'm not even sure if DRX can do anything about the dragon either.
Well, you can see there is at least an equalizer there if Rich wants to risk it, but there's also so many brushes, right, with this Ocean Rift. So it's just very dark and scary to get on in here. There's the knock-up on Andal as well as, yeah, they don't want to risk losing too much more. The Atakan is going to be taken, but Andal still has to flash away. And now Showmaker and Shiu are going to be enough to kill Sponge if he sticks around for too long, as the slows will just continue to stack up. So out he goes. And DK now will definitely have control of this Drake and will be able to deny the soul.
Yep, good work there from Showmaker in particular, just cutting down the HP, him and Shiwu, zoning them away.
What they can sometimes do in game states like this is overextend, so we'll see whether Shiu is going to be able to safely get himself out of this one. What is going to happen? Well, actually, no, he's probably...
And Baron's up.
Yeah, so they are just going to do Baron.
I mean, Pantheon has ult.
He's level 13. He does have level 2 ult as well. That goes a little further, doesn't it?
They are running out of time quickly.
Well, he's also going to take
don't
the
do Scuttle Crab. You need to be there for Baron.
Nah, better get the crab. He's going to get the crab, though. As he does ult in, the Baron does go down. What? Crab wasn't even secured, so not even going to be able to get the consolation crab.
That that pass is, I mean, you can't just kill the Rumble. You just don't have the damage.
Well, Yehu is going to get missed by a Zenith Blade. Shoutouts to our previous series as now Showmaker gets dove on by Sponge, but that is not really where he wants to be. Showmaker and Aiming are actually cut off by from the rest of the team though, and Teddy is free hitting.
Okay.
They still just can't get in, as Aiming now might be able to help his Ornn make his way out, but that is way more than DRX could have ever hoped. As building towards GA for add-in number 3 when that comes through, it's going to be very, very scary. Same to be said for Sponge though. As Lucid once again going to get engaged on, but Beryl very happy to just tank up as much as they want to dish out. DRX now moving over, wanting to get themselves a soul if they can find it. DK really don't want them to do that, but the split pushing Ornn is something they need to respect. Magnustorm collects a couple of them as Aiming is going to be the focus. Benandil going to be going down first. The Ram coming through. Yehu able to actually walk his way out, and Aiming will be taken down. There goes Lucid as well, and this time Showmaker will survive, but Beryl is also going to be dead. Rich picks up that one, and Shiu is just waddling about because he wasn't there.
Andal with a beautiful engage there, managing to find it, and the layering of the damage on top just completely cooks Aiming. You know, Teddy doesn't immediately jump in, doesn't get blown up, the recourse isn't there. And as much as Dplus try to fight their way out of it, it's so hard to reposition after a fight starting in that way.
And that is going to be Ocean Soul going over to DRX. DK still with a slight gold lead, but this is going to mean that DRX can just go for these blades over and over again. Rich's health bar not going to be low for very much longer, as the Ram is going to be called out once again. Gets a cheeky little knock up onto Sponge, but now he's low, and he's just dead.
Wow.
Shio, I think, overestimating how tanky he was.
Yeah, there's a lot of shred between the double blood ladders, the black cleaver on Sponge, a lot of resistance shred coming through, and he didn't actually have that much up there for Teddy.
That's a big deal.
So he is even more of a threat. And I feel like Aiming's been sitting on these items for a while, doesn't have his IE yet.
I've seen this one before. This time, there is the rest of DK over here. The engage from Andal, not going to be quite as pivotal, but Rich is making his way in. Choke point going to be there with the equalizer. That is so much value. And DK now going to have Lucid getting caught out. He has to flash to get himself over this wall. The Void Seeker missing is such a huge deal. My God, I think that just kept their jungler alive. But DRX still going to have their eyes glued to this Baron, and with Shiu dead, he does have teleport.
There's the harpoons from Rich as well. You know, the fact that Annie has the pen, she gets from her ult, I believe. She gets pen now.
Yeah.
There's so much.
Yeah, Baron still goes over to DRX.
That's actually a thing to think about, is the fact that so Pantheon gets
as far as stats are concerned, although there is a Baron as well, so it's a little bit in favor of DRX. So there's at least that, but this inner turret is just going to fall. He's boosting around, going pretty quick. We'll have that heal back up and available very, very quickly. Let's build spellbook things. All right, in goes Andal, finds two. Magnustorm comes down. Beryl getting in amongst it, Aiming, trying to kite his way out, but Teddy gets on top of him with a killer instinct. Yehu does fall, but remember, Shiu wasn't even there. Sponge now going to get knocked up as Showmaker, just not quite enough DPS in this fight, and DRX, they take two and they trade it for the Annie.
The target selection's so good from DRX there, and now Rich looking for more.
Yeah, he's just going to be flashing in here as the redemption comes down. They pick up a bit of a heal, and Shiu is actually able to help out here. The Ram going to get a nice few knockups, but Rich, the walking flamethrower, is so incredibly scary, and DRX should be able to move back, break open this base, and look for an Elder.
Little bit about the ornament gold, being able to equalize some of the differential. Isn't enough ornaments in the wave, which we've seen teams do before.
All right, now DK just desperately trying to hold on to their waves as Andal went so far up into the sky. Yehu gets into that backline though, Tibbers goes down, and they're fighting against an Elder, and that is never going to work, as Lucid trying to flash his way out, but it does not happen. Still, Aiming is able to get one back, but DRX, they are so incredibly deadly right now.
The front line gone down, it's Lucid, Showmaker, Aiming to try and defend, but it's such hard odds to beat the Ocean Soul in pocket, the Elder in pocket. They got to try and make a miracle defense here.
Yep, Lucid getting poked out by these Void Seekers as well. If two more of those land, I mean, he's just dead. As the Warrior Trickster does come on through, there is another Void Seeker to connect. They are dealing with these waves relatively well, as there is, of course, a Corki and an Orianna. They can actually handle that.
But first Nexus turret is going to go down. Rich wrapping around to try and get the pincer move, and it's going to work. He roasts them all as the double comes through, and the Nexus will go down.
Into the gym bard. It's a pretty uncomfortable lane. I think a lot of uncomfortable lanes in general for DRX on this one. The bot lane matchup is not good. The top lane matchup...
In this series, if they do get a win, they will confirm first place in the Rise group, as Rich and Andal have found Xiu, who is just going to flash, as Lucid's going to turn up, and he'd already skilled, so can't actually press that W button. They will just chase him down, and snip, snip goes the Gwen.
Hey, Rich is getting some backup to survive, and those rough lane matchups kind of just vanished.
Well, there's the flash in. They're just looking to kill him, and they should be able to do so. Does manage to get a bit of health back with the level up, which is absurd. And Xiu is now able to flash out of the way of the Mystic Shot. Teddy is likely to die, and he will go down. A 1-for-1, I guess maybe you'll take that.
What a play there from Xiu with a level up to survive the ignite damage. The ult for the slow clears the wave.
Lucid just flagged and dragged into this Dragon Pit.
Yeah, he's staying. He's like, yeah, this is where I want to be. No, never mind.
Yeah, gets himself out eventually.
Regretful decision.
A bit of free damage there on
good
old Joven.
I think maybe thinking, okay, bot lane...
The cannon is going to get eaten up by this turret. So they still do get a fair bit of value with the fact that she was sent back home. Doesn't actually invest the teleport, though, as he is just going to walk his way back up there. Yehu and Showmaker are just trading waves, basically, over and over again. As we can see here, it is going to be entirely even. As a barrel? What do we mean by this? As he heals, but he dies. That is just going to be Feats of Warfare going over to DRX. And if you want to know the why, I don't have it for you.
The why? Because it's barrel. The how? Because it's barrel. Especially on bot. I mean, come on. More than any other champion in the game.
Well, Showmaker now is just going to yell at Andal, but he is unbreakable in his will. He will go down, though, so a little bit breakable. Wind becomes lightning, but doesn't actually lock onto Showmaker as the Cataclysm comes on through. Tempered Fate was Beryl.
A lot of sick.
And Andal just trampled all over the doilies. Oh, no. Well, he's now maybe going to get punished. Meat Slap does come on through. As the flash from Beryl to lock down the cow. Does press R once again, but these Twin Fangs are just rocking him. And down he will go. Tempered Fate going to lock up the turret for fun. I think. And not too much more. I don't know whether they're out of the woods just yet. We'll see what the retaliation is going to be here from DRX, as Yehu has eaten a fair bit of time. There is the petrifying gaze. Miasma means he's going nowhere, although he's Rise. So he definitely just wasn't going anywhere anyway. And that is going to be another kill going over to Showmaker. No, never mind. No, didn't actually do it.
Okay.
It's kind of a weird situation. He was like, I have ult, and then he just got him right on the edge of it as well. Beautifully played. Flexing.
Are you okay?
Is my brain okay? Probably not.
Are you getting a bit too much culture?
I mean, this is day 3. And we've had some 6 gamers, we've had some long ones. As Amy just really wanted to take that magical journey. And he did so. As it used
I feel like sometimes you get hyper-focused on objectives like winning the game, taking structures, taking the Nexus.
Yeah.
And Beryl just wants to have a tea party, and Aiming just wants to go on the magical journey.
And sadly, Beryl once again going to have his tea party interrupted. That is going to be a nice knock-up. Deadly Flourish is going to connect there as well, as Beryl looking to keep them all alive with this redemption. Aiming, not actually pulling the trigger on that R button, but there's a nice knock-up from Lucid as Rich going to get caught, and Sponge does have the ulti to keep him alive. The Venn diagram of okay, never mind. It just wears off, and down goes the Rift Herald as well, as DK violently taking away his Seraphs.
He's also, Showmaker's kind of in this position. He's not in a good position now.
Yeah, this is maybe it's a fine position, as that is a lot of damage down onto Rich. Showmaker finding these Twin Fangs. Andal's not going to be offering any damage back, as Rich does go in, and that is going to be the kill finalized. Thankfully, Yehu turned up to make sure that that one was going to work, as the rest of DK trying to sort out this outer turret in the mid lane. It's likely just going to fall, as with Aiming and Lucid here, that should guarantee it. And there it goes.
A lot was committed to the top. And Andal. Like, Andel's trying to set things up. He's trying to ruin the Tea Party. Barrel's trying to have the Tea Party. Now looking bot lane.
That's just a Cataclysm. It's going to get a flash out as Lucid can then just hook onto his flag and head out of there. So trading ult for flash, you're always pretty happy about that. As Beryl, I mean, he really does just want a Tea Party, doesn't he? As Cosmic Binding is going to stop Sponge from having fun. As Shiu lying in wait. Oh, the barrel bait. The barrel bait. As the flash does come out, Redemption looking to try and get these health bars up. Tempered Fate says, no, you're not audaciously charging onto me. And he has to actually ult to get himself out of dodge because there is a Jhin making his way up. And he doesn't want the curtains to be called. Man, I am very surprised that Beryl managed to get out. That was a magical journey in unto itself.
He's been limit testing and he's found his limits.
I think he has.
Oh, there's an ult for
nice sidestep. The curtain call is going to come on through. Arcane Shift from Teddy. Third bullet is going to land. The fourth one blocked by Rich. And Andil looking for a bit of an angle here. Shiu is going to be able to buffer that W really beautifully. And Lucid kind of hoping that he had that Cataclysm back up and available once again, but still a big win for DK. They'll be able to take down this turret, and the wars of attrition going on across this map.
Some sort of inherent multiplier when he's on Bard.
Yeah, something like that. Realm is going to deliver a cow towards Showmaker. He's not too worried about that, as Cataclysm used up once again, as Sponge using the ult really nicely. Lucid does get himself out of the way after the Redemption does pop, as now Beryl having to take that magical journey out, as Sponge goes back in again, aiming, able to deliver a lot of damage. That magical journey looked like it's way too long. Jeepers. Getting the angle right in there, as this Dragon looking to be taken by DRX. This would be Soul Point if DK can get it. Headbutt Pulverize does come down. True Shot Barrage onto only Showmaker as Rich turns up as well. A magical journey going to be taken in by Showmaker, who does old flash to get himself out of the way. The needlework is going to go wide, and now into the pit they go. Shiu is going to fall right after he goes between worlds, and the curtains getting called here. A bit of damage onto Yahoo, but I think they should all make their way out.
Portal me into the pit, and
I hope there's will be like a large amount of infighting now, as Lucid is going to try and get himself out. Okay, that Tempered Fate was extraordinary. Okay, Beryl, maybe you've redeemed yourself, as the Unbreakable Will has to be used here by Andil. We don't have the curtain call just yet. Let's try and eliminate some of the low health members, or the low health cow.
Yeah, I was going to say, Showmaker, and they're just kind of resisting the edge, which is impressive for Rise Group teams. Normally, they'd have Showmaker does have a tower, but it's still a little scary when there's 4 members.
Does manage to get some poison down there as well. Sponge actually taking a bit of damage. Shiu does need to be a little careful, as Lucid, at least he's at full health. Beryl above half, which is about as much as we can expect. As Rich was looking to come on over. Bullet is going to connect there. Rapid fire cannon helping aiming. All right, DK with control of the area for the moment, but I am still very worried for both teams.
DRX are kind of just corralled in here, though.
Like Sponge lying in wait. There is the Realm Warp as the ulti does come on through. Tempered Fate just to lock up all 3 of them. Eats the CC there onto Showmaker, and he now gets to get those Twin Fangs out. Beryl! My God, this man, he really is epitomizing the Bard play. Is Rich. He was immune for a few moments, but there's the knock-up on the Sponge. He pops like a balloon, and now Rich in so much trouble. Beryl finds him, utilizing the Otacon to get the Cosmic Binding, and now Teddy. Oh, he has to deal with the curtains, and he's not going to survive. Rich goes down as well. Beryl, man, I don't know. I just don't know.
You doing?
Yeah, the ones where you come straight back down, I think is what that one's a representation of. And Lucid going to be coming on over, looking to steal this one away. Rich will be able to get a bit of bounty gold as that top outer turret does fall down. But DK, they do get the Otacon. They will be able to get Soul Point. That is just going to be eaten up here by Showmaker. And an inner turret does fall over.
There is a Bard coming.
Oh yeah, who needs to be scared? If I was Rich, I would be scared. There's also Lucid, so another reason why you should be scared. Knockup comes on through, aiming going to turn up here as well. They did need a little bit more here as the needlework does come down, but it is Showmaker that is able to secure it in the end. Northern side as DK have started this. Remember, Showmaker does a lot of damage to the Baron as Teddy. Position now going to be shown. W does tag onto Xiu, who's looking to wrap around. There's a Tempered Fate to lock down the Ezreal, and now they're going to try and turn. Lucid does get himself out of there. The magical journey from Beryl as Yahoo is going to get separated. There is the Petrifying Gaze as Teddy. He's ticking down, but he's keeping himself alive. But finally he'll fall. And DK, it was a 4v5. They should have definitely won it, but they actually will do what they were supposed to do. And it's Beryl that locks down the kill. Is that 500? Does he finally get there? Was that his 500th kill? Because that would be hilarious. He got one!
He got one! Yeah.
Honestly, there is just a sense of calm with the way Bard speaks. Not the way Bard players play.
No.
But the way he speaks. It's a bit ironic. As okay. Aiming, moving towards his top lane as Xiu and him just closing in on Rich. Man, that was just one bullet. It's now going to be a 1v1, so not necessarily what they want, but Lucid is going to turn up, so now it's not a 1v1. It's in fact anything but, as Rich just going to get poked out. My God.
Just a little
Why did
damage.
It felt like Redemption did so much, but now they've dove on top of Aiming. Out, he gets flung as Lucid, as Sponge actually able to take down the Jin. Now Xiu in a little bit of trouble as Showmaker and Beryl making their way over. Xiu surviving for way longer than I think he had any right to as the magical journey gets Beryl out of there. Lucid coming on over as Andal. He is just free food waiting as Showmaker, he's gonna go golden. There's Airbot pulverized right on top of the Cassiopeia, but she just yells at the Gwen. Down goes the Alistair, and it's a triple for the Snake Lady, and Showmaker says not today, we ain't throwing this one.
Just when it starts to get messy, Showmaker looks like he's under so much pressure. Multiple members of DRX cannot take him down. And it looks like his win rate will be climbing up from 0.
50 points. Absolute insanity.
It's a big leap.
It really is. 3-1 and 3 as well for the Vision does show off his position. Tempered Fate gonna catch Yahoo though. You cannot escape Beryl. DK also can't escape Beryl, but DRX in this game definitely cannot, as down goes Yahoo. And Xiu is just trying to survive. He will be able to go golden. That's going to buy a bit of time.
Nexus?
But base for Xiu is going to be the trade. And I don't know whether that's going to work out unless DRX really just wanted 3 games. And that sounds like a cultured opinion to me. As Sponge goes in, he goes out. And these Nexus turrets are going to follow suit. As, oh no, Lucid just put Rich in prison. Oh dear. His circle is going to be on the floor, but he is also going to be on the floor. Lucid going to be delivered to the fountain, but he has a GA and he gets out of there just in the nick of time. That's going to be another ace, and DK will bring us the distance. Going to be the choice.
I think the Jinx Tom actually does a lot for this composition. You know, the Jinx outranges so much of DRX. The Tom not only is fantastic,
unseen as well, as Lucid going to come down as well. So DK kind of wanting this one. The flash forward from Sponge is uninspiring at best. And now Lucid going to come over. Let's see whether this pill is going to work out. Teleports coming in from everywhere. And DK, their health bar's well and truly low. As the hook just a little early, but still the stun's going to come in, and down goes Showmaker. Sometimes the teleport is just not
do anything to Rich, I'm pretty sure. That's
going
my
for a swim.
Yep.
Showmaker looking for a bit of an angle here. Does get over the rocks and out of the way. And there's the charm. It will connect as Shoot. There it is. Yeah, going to be able to fall. Morning Mist. There it is. Actually just hits it with a Q. Gorgeously done. And gets the maiden for it as well. So now it's an even matchup on that bottom side. 2v2. Sponge going to be able to take the first dragon of the game. Next one going to
fights.
Ooh, Beryl eating honey fruit. But the rest of DRX are now moving over. Just one of these grubs to go over to DK. That's Lucid looking to play some baseball here with Sponge. Teddy turning up to try and do a bit of DPS. As there is the wall to come through from the Talia. But Beryl's the one that's sort of caught out of position. He is going to have to flash, does get himself out of the way. The Flame Chompers, though, are just going to block any sort of approach. So that will mean that DK can get themselves the objective. As we head back down towards this spot a little bit further ahead. So Aiming pretty happy about the state of this game. And he has been their most consistent member as well. As Yahoo laying down the rocks. This could be a dive, 4 versus 2, but they're clearing out the minions very nicely. Showmaker goes in, immediately gets knocked up as they will be able to take down the Talia. There goes Andil as well as Beryl eats the Grey Health and then dies unceremoniously. But the kill does go over to Andal. That's probably best case scenario for DK.
I think you definitely take that. You could also end up going, I don't know if you will, but like Blackfire Cosmic Drive, because the Dark keeps the Cosmic Drive running.
He does very much like the Cosmic Drive, as Rich has pressed a lot of buttons. Shiu is just going to flash away, but I think that it's not going to work, as Sponge going to be able to take down the Yorick. Really nice gank here from DRX to even up the kill score. Seismic Shove going to go a little bit wide, but you can see Andal trying to get himself out of there. Super Mega Death Rocket sails by majestically, and will head towards that top lane.
Nice dodges there from Andal. Dodges a charm.
Careful.
I mean, it's the Triforce, Trundle, and a Jinx as well. You'd love to get any alone time with power.
Well, there is the hook forward from Andal, but he doesn't actually hit a player. It is the wall that was right next to them, as now Lucid moves in, actually isolates Andal, and he's just dead. That's an excited aiming. And that is 4 kills for DK, and should be a Dragon, double Dragon denial here as well from DK. Wow, that's a lot of Ds. Even DRX starts with D, my goodness.
I think he did catch Beryl, but there's this weird hitbox thing when he's like round a wall.
Yeah, he sort of got pulled into the wall instead.
Yeah, so he wasn't in melee range of him afterwards, so it's...
I mean, I don't think we should try and work out the math of Nautilus Hook.
Yeah, it's that weird.
It's not real.
It's got like a lollipop established vision here, and the Sivir does just kind of melt waves now.
Well, Coolie Wall going to be denying Yehu for the moment, as Shiu not going to be walking out of the way of that Seismic Shove. The rest of DRX going to turn up and put him in the ground once again. Targeting Shiu has really been the bane of DK. They still have a... Teleport in, okay. Andal going to get slowed down by the zap. There's the hook that's going to connect onto Lucid. He will get knocked up as now Showmaker looks for the charm but doesn't quite find it. Teleport in from this Cassante towards the top end of this fight, but Shiu's moving down as well. These health bars are getting softened up. The rocks go down. Shelly once again is just kind of annoyed. Hooks connecting, is aiming, able to sidestep, but does still get pulled back. Can he get excited in time? And the answer is no. The resets coming in from Sponge. And the Abyssal dive actually from Beryl to try and get him out of dodge, but it doesn't work. There's the chain CC, and DRX spring to life.
Managing to kite away from Dplus, trying to find the aggression, trying to find the charm from Showmaker. It doesn't connect, and the re-engage comes in clutch. Sponge leading the charge, getting the resets.
And this is the kind of fight that you desperately need as DRX in this mid-game to make this composition work, as now they're looking for even more. As Beryl, you may ask why, but not understanding is also okay too, as he is going to go down extraordinarily low, eats the gray health there, as now Showmaker making his way in. Lucid gets gobbled up yet again, as Showmaker, the point-blank charm is going to connect onto Andal, and they will get the first kill. Now the resets are coming in for DK. And all right, the pendulum, it swings back and forth, ladies and gentlemen. It swings back and forth.
You can never be sure of anything in the Rise group. And these comps are so momentum-based. We have Ari, Jinx, Viego. If you don't get that first initial kill, it just feels like the comps can sometimes hit a wall.
Yep.
And that's what happened. Beryl surviving for so long there. Lucid as well. I mean, even, you know, we think of the reset potential, the champions I've named, but Trundle reset potential, the extra health, you know?
There you go. What about Tom Kench reset potential? He doesn't really reset, but, like, he would still be there as well.
Yes.
While the other champions are resetting.
Yes.
Potentially. As turret in trade for the Dragon.
From the jungle support of Dplus, but it works, so how can I fault it?
Well, I mean, you can probably do what you did and explain what happened. As once again, this time he's dead. Andal also getting close to that, but the reset is there. Sponge looking fantastic as his chefy self. He will get himself out. So it is just the pick onto Beryl. Full information is here for DRX, and they are starting this. The Mega Cone can possibly get them in, but that is going to be the knock-up onto Lucid. He does try to avoid a fair bit, but the gobble, it does come in, but immediately they all just die. There's the all-out from Rich, as now Showmaker finally going to get here, and the Cassante will fall. DK, though, this is a 3 versus 4, and I don't think they're going to be able to make it happen.
Honestly, it looked like it was just Arakan for DRX, but if an overcommit from Rich ends up getting him punished, I still think they're going to be able to secure the objective, though. Sponge starting off, but does need a bit of backup.
What he's trying to do, he'll eat some honey fruit. Maybe that's going to help. As Andal going to move out of this brush. Boomerang Blade is going to come on through there as the charm does connect onto Andal. Super Mega Death Rocket finishes him off, but Shiu flashes away. He keeps himself alive. Somehow DK make this thing work. this Arakan, and DK are nowhere in sight. So it will just go over to DRX in the end. Shiu going to be trading that one for an outer turret towards his bottom lane. Aiming going to try and grab this outer turret in mid as well, as Teddy was looking to rotate over. Beryl is going to deliver himself as a distraction. And I guess that worked out.
Charge forward from that.
Yeah.
We'll see how it pans out here, though.
Showmaker trying to get some vision available. Seismic Shove is going to go wide. The Weave as well, just to block off the approach here for DK, as it is just going to wear off. This Dragon still up and available as Andil going to get CC'd. It looks like the Drake is not what DK are looking for. As never mind, Lucid, can he actually get in there? The answer is no, but the King's Tribute gets him all of his health back. And now the Cassante is dead. Beryl looking to try and close him, but Andil gets a great hook. And Beryl is going to gobble up Showmaker. He now has a big shield. And Teddy is trying to kite it out. He does do a lot of damage, but not enough to save them in this one. And DK, they just leave Andil alive. And even he may not survive this one. We'll see what they can get off the back end. Maybe they can kill. No, they can't.
Slash opposition comes up, and the gobble from Beryl, the momentum killer. And then the resets come, and they happen again and again and again. Again, this Diego's so fed. Teddy is doing so much damage.
Lucid.
Beryl.
Okay, well, there is some scary things happening here as Rich is in the front line. They are just eating Andalo, and he's just dead.
Okay.
Now Aiming's going to get excited, runs towards Sponge, but DRX are out of there. Once again, the Y is hard to find, but as of right now as well. As a face check does come on through, they get the control ward down, the hook does go wide, and there is the pillar as Lucid eats an exhaust, and then just wanders his way out. Showmaker lurking on that flank angle. Will be able to clear out that ward as they make it as dark as they possibly can. Beryl gets over the wall, flashes, has to be used there. And now DK looking for a bit of an angle. The goalie wall comes in to try and hold them in position. It is going to be the Viego that's the target, but Rich, oh my goodness, he gets shredded. The gobble comes through yet again to deny another reset as Beryl has that gray health to keep him healthy. And DRX, they will be able to back away. Oh my, lanky cats everywhere. And it's really hard to fathom. It's okay. Soul point available for both teams. DRX getting on it. Vision going to be there. A Showmaker looking for an angle. Andil doesn't find the anchor though. The Tongue Lash will connect. Charm just barely not going to work out there as Lucid wants to come in, but he's not going to be able to take this Dragon as Chiu gonna get turned on the side. Showmaker looking to make his way over and the seismic shove goes wide. Sponge having to flash so early, and now the death machine of DK is moving forward and DRX are walking the wrong direction. Showmaker is looking for these resets. He's going to get them as Rich, he can't go all out of this game unfortunately, unless it's via a loss, as Showmaker will go golden, and DRX looks like they're running for safety, but they're not on the red side anymore, as the double kill comes through for Aiming. He will die to Teddy, but that's the ace for DK. God, I've never heard a definition of Beryl so perfectly done as Sponge able to dash over the pillar. It's a charm! It catches Yahoo! And he's just probably dead! Blasco, never mind, it's a Mega Cone. And Super Mega Death Rocket is not going to land either. Yahoo barely gets away.
Does have TP, so he will be able to get back for this. They have to rush in though.
Yeah, Vision is going to be there, but this is going down very, very quickly. King's Tribute's going to make sure that Lucid is going to be very healthy by the end as well, as now they need to watch out for Sponge. Lucid, he's going down very low. As these ricochets are so scary. Lucid, you cannot just die. He flashes out of the pit, but the resets start to come in for Aiming. As Andil is just dead. Sponge, he does steal away the Baron, but is it a Baron for Nexus? That's going to be the question as Rich goes in, then goes out, then he's dead. Aiming locks up the kill. And DK, they haven't taken down the carries, but the carries have no front line. They should be able to wipe out the base.
It's going to be tricky because there is a lot of wave clear, but there's 5 members strong.
Teddy's
it's definitely Dplus favored. It's definitely Dplus favored. Teddy has Soms, Yahoo has Soms. They have to try and clear the wave with the ricochets. It's Dplus favored, but we'll see what they can do.
Well, Lucid is just going to run behind this turret to get this pillar down. Yahoo is going to go down so low. He finally gets chomped by Lucid, who gets himself in there. Beryl was tanking up the turret. Teddy? Yep, Teddy. These boomerangs are really hurting. And DK, they'll eat some honey fruit and they'll get themselves out. This turret gets angry at Shiu, and the inner turret is still alive, guys. As another ghoulie wall. My goodness, these boomerang blades. As Teddy also had an...
Sponge, it's reset central with the HPs at this level.
Yeah.
See Aiming trying to heal up off the blue buff.
Lucid going to get a bit of health back for that one as well. Spirit Visage, of course, going to be a big deal on that one, as they do have vision. Lucid not wanting to give this one up, as he's just standing in amongst 4 people, and he's just dead, but what the heck was that? Was it even worth it? I have absolutely no idea.
Okay, they're definitely taking this tower. Can they push further into the base? Looks like they won't.
Whole health bars of damage, as Showmaker, look at this. Okay, sees this health bar going down low, he's like, I'll take that. Yep. He was just saying
against the burst, resets, but if he stands his ground, that shield goes a long way.
So that already in this game. 6 examples of Beryl also not necessarily being able to face check very comfortably. As Aiming almost just takes his whole health bar and damage. What the heck was that? The Gobble does have to come through as Aiming back over the wall as he flashes over the other wall. Beryl will finally go down as Lucid gets the subjugate off into this backline, but it's Shiu taking down inhibitors in the top lane, and DK just trying to keep them interested. There's the Abyssal dive over from Sponge, and Shiu,
Is Beryl enough? Taking Beryl down. Getting the summoners from Aiming is huge, but is taking down Beryl enough to give you confidence to start the Baron? They're trying to move in, but it's still so scary.
Yeah. Lucid looking for a pillar angle as they do get the charm onto Andal. Moves himself out of the way. The seismic shove is going to miss, but Andal gets himself out of this one. Teddy is so scary. The ricochets do come on through as there's the redemption for a bit of a heal. 10 seconds on Beryl.
Teddy.
Yep, DRX are just corralling them. That boomerang blade could have been so scary. Shiu also going to have to flash the ghoulie wall. Can it help? Seismic shove, not enough. Mega Death Rocket connects onto Rich, as they will be able to get the crab. And we've also got a full wave of minions pushing in on the bottom side of the map as well, as DRX are just getting pulled around their base. Teddy, Spell Shield now on cooldown just for a moment. Morning Mist going to come on through there as the Maiden is going to be another prize here for DRX. Teleport to bring Andal in, looking for a bit of an angle, but the ghoulie wall again. Oh, Sponge, he's going to get taken down by Aiming. That's one of the resets now removed. And DRX now having to deal with their jungler being dead.
That's going to be Soul, and you likely just go straight to Baron afterwards. An overstep from Sponge. He thinks he's found Showmaker.
Oh,
a moment
no.
I remember, Showmaker had Zhonya's as well. So definitely a miscalculation.
Baron go down as DK.
I think you could sense the frustration that Dplus were just walking away.
Yeah.
The audacity they can just walk out of that play on low health.
Needed to make sure that that sounded like the understatement of the century, and I think I got the tone. As Showmaker lurking on the side, the ward is going to spot him out, as Shiu also going for a bit of a split push, but now going to get caught out. Heartbreaker comes forward. Shiu trying to get back to the rest of his team, but he is just going to get taken down. No one going to be there to answer it. And now DK, their push, going to be a whole lot more difficult. So this Baron, I don't think is going to work. The Rebel Baron power play sitting at 66 gold.
Well,
Mega Death Rocket gets the flash.
At least available right now this second. Both the buffs are live now, so any second we expect the fight.
Hook is going to connect there onto Lucid. The immediate gobble does come on through as Andal down very, very low. Sponge flashing to get himself out of the way as Aiming lands the zap. The slow lasting forever is what it feels like. Okay, well, now we're going to learn whether or not the Elder or the Baron are better. In a fight, the Elder's better. In a push, the Baron's better.
What I will say is, because DRX's base is already kind of in shambles, they've already lost 2 inhibitor towers, it may be hard to defend.
I know is that they will keep the stat of the longest games in the league. As the wall is going to come down, it blocks some of the minions, but not too many of them. The Baron not looking too useful right now as Teddy gets exhausted. The rockets are going to fly through as Showmaker looks for an angle, does go golden. There is a bit of a flick back as Teddy now is so low, and Beryl gets a massive knock up. The one man not afraid to start this fight, and he trades his life for the Fountain Laser. And DK still pushing forward. They have so much damage. These turrets just melt as Rich tries to get himself out, but the Dragon's Wrath, it is swift and merciless. And DK, after the biggest test that they've had so far in this culture-driven Rise group, will finally topple
DRX